Is there merit in merging the school libraries with the municipal library? Would this be an option? Should a new library building be in your future? And how might this work with several schools and one municipal library?
I think it's definitely an option to merge resources. I wouldn't suggest merging buildings just because hours aren't the same for schools and for public libraries. But there are some towns that do, they all run on the same system, the school libraries and the public libraries, and they share the resources. And it leads to greater availability. You know, schools have limited hours, and all those resources sit in the school libraries unable to be used. And when you are running with the public library, it provides more resources to be used by more people. And it's definitely a possibility once we do eventually go to a new library. We'd love to see that. You know, any collaboration with the schools to us is a great thing.
Yeah. Do you know if you've had any talks about that, or
not that I'm aware of?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Mariette, I'd like to turn to you as the children's librarian and ask some questions. First, what kind of programs do you offer children and parents on a regular basis?
During the school, what I would call the school year, we have story times for children as young as 6 months through basically the story times themselves go through age 3. And then my assistant does a program that's very popular that's called Start with Art, and she talks about different types of art media and artists, and then the children make projects that are based on, you know, springing from the things that they've read or talked about. And that's a very popular program, and she has very good attendance for that. That and the 2- and 3-year-old story times are in sessions. They're like 6-week sessions, and then there's a slight break, and then another 6-week session. So there's a fall, winter, and spring session. But right now we're gearing up for our summer program, and that is much more comprehensive. One of our popular programs that we have during the year also is called Fun and Friends. It's on Wednesday morning, and it's a drop-in program, and it's designed so that mothers or grandparents or fathers or caregivers of any kind can bring children, and we have a period of play that takes place first, Play-Doh and toys and things like that, and then we offer a short story time, and we have a simple craft, and we serve a snack. And it's a great opportunity for children to learn how to get along with other children, especially those who don't go to any kind of a preschool. And the parents can make friends. In fact, at a recent one, a new mother in town was asking where she could take her children to learn how to ride their bicycles, because she didn't live on a cul-de-sac where it would be safe to do that.
Right.
And several of the parents there were giving her suggestions of where she could go with her children. And I thought that was a really good example of how that program helps parents to make friends and get valuable information, and for the children to have fun. So that's an ongoing program. It goes on all year long. We just take a couple of breaks. Like right now we're not having them because we're getting ready for the summer program, but generally it's all year long.
Yeah.
And so that's the kind of thing that we do. We show movies. Usually at least once a month we have one of the more current children's films that we show. We have movie licenses at the library, so we can show regular movies, not just things that have a license built into them. We can actually show some of the feature films. So
Yeah.
that's an important point.
Right. In our first show on the library, I mentioned I'm on the email blast list, and I'm amazed at some of the movies and how quickly you get them.
We
I'm
try.
just amazed by that.
Yeah, we try as soon as they come out on DVD to make it within a few days of their release to show them, so that there's still something that people would want to come and see.
Yeah. At this point, I believe that we're probably showing some of the websites, but I'd just like to mention a couple: www.brookfieldlibrary.org and www.onebookonelake.org. check them out. Now, you mentioned that the summer reading program. Could you tell the viewers a little bit about that?
Yes, I'd like to. Our summer program is divided into actually 2 programs. One is for children that are 3 through 6 years old, and then the other program is for children entering grade 2 through entering grade 5. That's the age level that the children's department covers. After that, they graduate to Jen's department. She's the teen librarian also. For our younger program, it's based on activity sheets. When people register their children, they get a packet of activity sheets, and inside, for each week of the summer program, there are things that the children can do, and most of them are based on types of books to read, places to read, times to read, like read a book at bedtime, or how old are you? If you're 5, read 5 pages, or whatever. And when they do the activity, they can color it in. For each activity they color in, they get a Brookfield buck.
Oh, okay.
This is we told the children in school, now you can't spend these in the store. They are not going to take them in a regular store, but we have a little store there in the library during the summer where they can use their Brookfield bucks that they've earned by doing these various reading-based activities to get things like Tootsie Pops, that's the favorite, or some small toys, and also books. Which is always popular, and that makes me happy.
That's great.
So that's the program for the younger children, and we also have a Brookfield game that they can play, and that's pretty much just for fun. Then for the older children that are entering grade 2 through 5, we're really happy this year because we have collaborated with the public schools. This is the first time that our summer program has been in collaboration with the schools. Usually we have gone with a national theme, like last year it was Make a Splash, Read. And that was a theme that libraries all over the country used, many of them. This year we decided we were going to do our own theme. We're not going with anything that anybody else is doing, and our program is called Read Around Brookfield. And this passport, children are going to actually receive in their report card folders, and inside there are places, there's a calendar of our library activities across the top, and places for the children to list the books that they read, and to mark off every 20 minutes of reading that they do. And the thing that is really wonderful about this is a combination of our activities and the school requirements, so that the children would take these back to their teacher in the fall, and they get credit for the reading that they have done, as well as being able to participate in our activities. So we're really happy about that. Collaborating with the schools is a great thing.
I think that's I agree. It's a great thing, but you're saying this is the first year?
Yes, yes.
Well,
I don't know what took us so long.
Better late than never, but that is a great idea.
Sometimes it's just a catalyst. It's just one person that's excited. We have a new curriculum coordinator at Huckleberry Hill School, and she had worked at in a different town where collaboration took place, and she was the one who sort of got the ball rolling, and we're really happy. It's great.
I'm glad to hear that, because so many times all these different agendas are going in different directions. It's nice to see that
you're right.
Kind of the working together.
So this is, I'll just show you this too. Also, this is a master calendar of all the things that we're doing in the children's department this summer, and as you can see, it's pretty filled in. And I only have a part-time assistant, so we really are sort of running around. But in addition to the reading components, we also offer things like cooking classes, science workshops, dance. We're having some teens come in and teach current dances to the children that want to learn how to do the latest dance steps. We're having a campfire night where we're going to make s'mores over a fire pit and read spooky stories. We're having hikes. We're having really all kinds of art and craft activities. So there's something for everybody. It's going to be.
I think I want to join.
If you're going into 5th grade. Other than that, you have graduated from my program.
Oh well. Are there other activities that you will be offering?
Well, during the summer, we also do have some special performers come in. We're having a man who brings instruments from all over the world. He has a big, long Tibetan horn, steel guitars, I don't know, all kinds of things. He's coming in June, at the end of June. He's sort of the kickoff person. Then in July, we're having a magician. And in the beginning of August, we're having a man who brings live animals. And the children, he's come before, he's really wonderful. And the children can actually touch the animals like hedgehogs and things you wouldn't normally get a chance to do. And then he always ends with a great big boa constrictor that I always end up wearing around my neck. And my assistant, I might add, that's when she leaves the room. She doesn't like snakes.
I'd be with her.
So, but an important point about that too, now that I'm mentioning those special performances, is this whole thing wouldn't be possible for us if it weren't for the Friends of the Library. I know in your previous show, Anita Barney had mentioned the Friends, and they have been loyal supporters of the children's, well, all of the summer programs, but I'm speaking now for myself for the children's programs. For many years, they have paid just about every expense that we have related to it, whether it's printing, buying paper, paying for these performers, supplies, you name it, they pay for it. And it couldn't happen without them. Yeah. So just a plug for the Friends. You know, if you live in Brookfield and you're not a member of the Friends, you really should join, because they do wonderful things for the library.
Okay, that's good to get that out. Over the years, I would think, but this is why I'm asking you, the professional, has content judged to be appropriate to children changed over the years?
Yeah, Jen and I were just talking about that, actually. I think so. I think that now there's a lot more openness, a lot more, there are topics in children's literature that in the past would not have been included. I think in earlier children's literature and fiction and nonfiction books, things like divorce or death, things like that were often not as deeply considered as they are now. A lot of the books now deal with dysfunctional families or problems that weren't covered in the past, I would say. And also in nonfiction, there are a lot more books that, in fact, we have a special topics collection at the library that we have developed for parents to use to share information with their children about some of these areas. Things like adoption, or divorce, or death of a parent, or illness of a parent. And there's some wonderful books that are written specifically for children of, you know, lower picture book age group that their parents can read to them and use to share information and help them to understand. And there are a lot about things like Asperger's and Down syndrome that help, that you can share with your children so they can understand and be more tolerant. And I think that that's something that is more and more happening more frequently now.
Yeah, that sounds like a good thing.
It is a good thing.
I just wonder also with some of the changes, you know, when I was in school, you know, we had Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer, and I don't know, some districts, I guess in different parts of the country, or you know, I can't imagine not having you know, read that growing up. But so that was another reason why I wanted to ask about you know, the different appropriateness and different programs. Since Mary, you've been of my guests been with the library the longest, since 1988.
Yes.
If you could tell our audience a little about you know, some of the library's history from your perspective.
Well, I watched them break ground for the library, and so I literally saw it being being built. And when it was first opened, it was pretty empty in there, and there were you know, a lot of bookshelves and not too many books, because the library had been up where what's now the museum. And so, of course, to move a collection that fit into that building, that's relatively small museum building, into this, at that time, huge building, made, you know, everything looked very empty, and there was lots of room. But as time has gone by, there's so many more things that we need to house besides just books. I mean, the collection of books has grown enormously, but also now we have so many computers that we need room for, and the children's room is really, it's unfortunate that the shelves are too high. In order to make room for all the children's books, that the shelves are really more adult height, and it would be much better to have them low where the children could actually reach them. Another thing I think that's changed a lot is the nature of the library. It's become almost more of a, I would say, a community center, and a gathering place for people, and having concerts and having all these classes and programs, adult programs, teen programs, children's programs. It's a very busy place, and there's a lot more of that going on than used to.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is a wonderful thing.
Well, we're going to be wrapping up shortly, but if there was, I'm going to ask each of you, if there was one main thing that you'd want people to take away about your respective areas, what would that be? First, let's start with Jen.
I would want people to know not to be afraid of technology. We have so many people who come in for help and just are just afraid of the new technology, want to learn the ebooks or want to learn how to use different applications, but they're afraid of it. And technology is nothing to be afraid of. And it's also something that's never going to replace libraries. It's never going to replace books or people that work there, or any of the programs that we offer.
And Mary, one thing, if you could have the viewers take away.
Oh, I think the main thing I would want people to take away is that the people at the library love what we do, and for me, for parents coming in with their children, I just want them to love to read, and to read to their children a lot, you know, because that's more important than almost anything. It contributes to writing skills and reading skills, but it also contributes to unity and connection with your children. That's very important.
Yeah. Thank you. We're going to wrap up our show now. Again, I'd like to thank our guests, Jennifer Clark and Mary Proudfoot, for joining us this evening, talking about the Brookfield Public Library. I also want to remind our viewers that the air dates on Charter Channel 21 are Monday at 4:30 and Thursday at 7 p.m. We also post segments up on YouTube for those that might want to see it again, or for those that don't receive Charter, and that's at www.youtube.com/Brookfield Public Advo. And also, if you'd like to contact us, you can reach us by email at brookfieldpublicadvocate.com. I'm sorry, brookfieldpublicadvocate@yahoo.com. And we'd love to hear from you. If you have ideas for topics or guests or things you'd like to see or comments, please let us know. Again, thank you for watching, and good night. Believe it or not, that took almost the full time. If you gave me 5 minutes, I'd say about 3 minutes ago. So it goes much quicker than you can imagine.